Hi, my name is Zachary Will. I am a Atlanta-based filmmaker, and recently I released a historical documentary about my great-great-grandfather called An Immigrant German Baker. And I just wanted to share some techniques that I used throughout that film. The one that we're going to be going over today is how to pull focus on a photo. And so let's hop right into it. All right, so we're going to start with this right here. And so this is kind of like an old picture of the Brooklyn Bridge. And this is what we're going to turn it into. Just a nice little rack focus on the city there. So first we're going to open up Photoshop. Let's just do new file. And so we're going to do the 4K. This is my most recent, but you can find it right under film and video, and then 4K. Actually, you want UHD if you want just regular 4K. Anyways, I'm just going to uncheck mark this locked icon, create a new layer down here, and delete that white backdrop. Next, we're going to go and I'm going to just pull in that picture that we had. All right, so now we're going to pull this picture right into here. You can see it's actually a very small picture. The aspect ratio does not match at all. I just pressed enter to stop scaling. So I just scaled it all the way up. And then I'm going to pick this rectangle tool. And I'm just going to select kind of the sides here. So I got this picture actually off the Library of Congress. Nope, I messed up here, but I can also do, if I hold down Alt, I can drag and select areas that I do want included. All right, and then I can hold Shift and add these other sections in here. Let me just add a tiny bit left down here. All right. Now, if you're on the newest Photoshop, you can just hit this little generative fill, and that will generate kind of a extended out based on what's in here. And so let's just see how that does. This isn't always perfect, and if you wanted to go historically accurate, obviously it'll generate buildings that don't exist or not generate buildings that do exist, but it'll give us something kind of close, and it gives us a couple options down here. You can kind of toggle through some of these. That's 3. I kind of want to just go with this one. I like this one. Something that you can do is you can kind of just select little areas that you felt like it didn't do a great job at, and you can just click generate and try to generate some like alternative examples of things that you want in that area. You can also type, kind of like a text prompt to get some different thoughts. I actually kind of like that one. Let's see what that. Yeah, that's feeling a little better. And then I kind of want to do this section over right here. So let's try that section. Just see what it looks like. All right, here are options. Let's go with that one. All right. So now I'm going to take all these layers and I'm just going to right click. I shift click to select all of them. Right click and then merge layers. That way we have one image that we can work with. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here. I'm going to click filter, neurofilters. Now these features are on the newest Photoshop. Make sure you have it updated. I'm going to come down here to colorize. I'm just going to check mark that box and see how it looks. Looks pretty good overall. There's a couple different sliders here. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I'm going to just make sure this is selected as new layer, so that way it'll go over top of that last layer that we created. Click OK. Now on and off, we can see the differences. The reason I like to create a new layer for the colorize is if I really want to, I can take in, open up the eraser tool right here, and I can adjust the size, the hardness, and the opacity, just to be kind of like a big, soft, and just kind of, I can pull back some areas, like this green is just on a building, or some of this green here maybe. And that way I can just kind of adjust it a little bit to taste. Awesome, that's looking pretty good. All right, now that I like what I'm going with, I can just merge these layers together, and let's just name this layer starting point. Just something so we know what it is. All right. So now I'm going to select this layer. I'm going to come up here to filter. Now, if I were to hit neutral filter again, I'm sorry. If I were to hit neural filters right now, it would apply that same colorize that we just applied to it. So we don't want to do that. We want to come down to the third option, hit neural filters here, and that's going to load. And we want to come down to depth blur. And what this is it kind of does the same thing that like portrait mode and like a cell phone does, where it analyzes the picture, tries to figure out the depth of the picture, and then will pull parts of it out of focus. So we're going to hit depth blur. It's going to process for a second. Cool. So that looks pretty good. And actually, if we come down here and we click output depth, you can see what it's telling you what the depth's like. All right. And what I'm going to start with is I'm going to pull the focus all the way back here. Maybe like 83. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go a little further maybe. Okay, now that's like way back there. Let's do there. So we're going to start at 77. We're going to click new layer and click OK. Now I'm going to uncheck mark the eye, click back on the original, and then we're going to do the same thing, neural filter. We're going to do depth blur, check mark it, and then instead of 77 like last time, I'm going to subtract 3 and go to 74. And then I'm going to click new layer, OK. Pop off, go back at the starting point, filter, new filter. Now this is going to take quite a while, so I might speed through parts of this. But basically, you just want to make sure that you're just going in increments of 3. And you really want this focus pull to be at least 10, probably 16 different layers long. So I'm at 68 right now. And the reason you want that is just so you can have a nice, smooth focus pull. Oh, there we go. And if you start at one end and you kind of go to, from like 75 to 25 or something around those lines, you're going to end up with a lot of layers. So, yeah, let's just get to this. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't really know of a way to have this kind of effect in video. I don't know that they've created this type of thing. I know new phones have similar modes for video now, but I don't know that this exists as an effect for video platforms yet. But luckily, this is not as difficult as it could be. All right, so now we have about 15 layers, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. We're gonna bring all of these eye icons back for all of these layers, and now we have all these layers selected. I'm gonna right click them, and I'm gonna click Quick Export as PNG. All right, now you want to make sure that you create a folder, or otherwise you're just gonna have 15 images just out in the open. So we're just going to call this Old New York. We're going to just toss all these files right in here, select folder. Should just take a couple seconds to render out all these layers as PNGs. And then we're going to pull them right into Premiere Pro right after that. All right, so we have this Old New York folder. It's got all of our layers right here. I'm just going to select that folder. We're going to come over to Premiere Pro. We're just going to pop that right in here. Import the files. All right, Old New York. Now we're just going to select all of these. Just shift click first and last file and just drag them right in. All right, so this kind of is each image is obviously way too long. It would take forever for you to watch through this focus pull. So we're going to select all of them. Actually, first thing, we're going to lengthen the first and last image. And that's because you want to start for a little bit longer on that first and last image for the focus pull. We can always adjust this layer later. I'm going to nest this, and then we're going to right click speed duration, and then we're going to select how long we want this to be, which somewhere around maybe like 6 seconds should be good. That's about how long the other one is. And so now we have, whoa, something in there was a little fishy. Okay. So to fix this, we want to make sure that all of these layers are by name. This is actually interesting because this did not happen to me the first time. Sometimes you just forget what number you're on. Oh boy, yeah, this one right here. What might have happened is I had it on maybe 25, which is like the default. So we're just gonna, maybe we'll just put this right at the front here. Just drag this over. Actually, I did not end anywhere near 25. So let's just delete that image. Yeah, okay, cool. Now we're gonna go back to that sequence. And then we'll play this back one more time. And now you get a nice cool little focus pull. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. All right, now I'm just going to do a little touches onto this. I'm just going to hit this stopwatch right next to scale. And then go over to the other side. I'm going to put 110. All right, and that just adds like a little bit of a scale into it. Now something that I want to do is I want to switch the focus pull so that it starts here and focuses backwards at the skyscrapers. So I'm going to hit speed duration and just hit this little reverse speed. So now it starts focused in on the bridge and then focuses up. Something to note here is because I did this scale before, now it was reversing it, so I'm going to do the opposite. So that way we're scaling into these buildings up here. Next, I'm going to add a position and just put the very top up here. So that way it kind of does a little bit, it keeps those tops of those buildings in the shot. So there is how to do a focus pull inside of Photoshop and Premiere on a still image. So thanks for watching this video. I hope that you would check out my new documentary film. You can check out the link in the description. Thanks so much.